people ask me, what would you do differently? And I answer very quickly. I wish I had introduced Shabbat to my family sooner, because I know that Shabbat is a huge game changer for the family, because it's a family affair. And I say all the time, if every American Christian would do Shabbat every Friday night, it would change everything.
How so? What do you see? What would it do?
Well, the man is actually now functioning as a high priest in his home. That's what a concept. He's not taught that at church in any way, shape, or form. And then when you realize how many Christian men have never led their family in communion at home, it's staggering. So when you do Shabbat, the man is actually functioning as a high priest. He's not only blessing his children, he's also blessing his wife in front of the children. How often is that happening to begin with? And then you get the naysayers, oh, I don't have to do any of that Jewish stuff. Okay, well then how about do this then? How about get together as a family every Friday night, or heck, at this point, any night of the week, and pray blessing over your children. You can do that, right? That's not too Jewish for you, right? It's all Jewish, right? Pray blessing over your wife in front of your children, and then lead them in communion. Can you do that? Well, yeah, that's not gonna, right? No one's gonna balk at that. So then why aren't you doing that?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because that seems to be the whole problem with Western society, is that we're so busy, we don't have, people say, well, what's the thing you miss most? Well, we don't have dinner together anymore.
Yeah.
And there you go, the Friday night Shabbat dinner with dad taking his rightful place in the home, and that doesn't even happen anymore. And that's the whole problem.
It is. We have had dinner around the table Monday through Friday every night since we've had children, since the very beginning. That's just what we did. And that's what we modeled. We made that choice. And it was foreign to a lot of the people in our church that we did that. But we did that. So Shabbat wasn't that much of a leap for us. We're going to sit down together as a family on a Friday night. We already do that. But now we're going to do it like this, or we're going to bring this into the equation. It's everything. And again, I mean, when you bring up Shabbat to most Christians, they'll tell you, oh, well, I can keep the Sabbath on any day. It doesn't matter to God. Well, that's not true, but let's go with that anyway. Okay, so you can do it any day. So what day are you doing it? Because they're not doing it. And they're running ragged, and because they're not doing, I mean, Shabbat is a do-over. You have to eventually one day actually reboot your computer. You just can't keep it on forever. It's the same thing. And so you see this cadence in Leviticus 23 with Leviticus 23 outlines the Sabbath and the feast. And you see this cadence of God wanting us to do this. Reboot yourself every week with your family. Reboot yourself every month. And then for 7 months, we're going to do this whole thing. Christendom doesn't actually... Okay, I'm a Christian now. What do I do? Read your Bible, pray, don't sin. Okay, how do I do that?
It's the how, isn't it? The how we're never taught. We get all these lofty goals from the pulpit. Right. But then it's like, well, great, see you next Sunday.
Right. What's the practical application of being a Christian? I don't know.
How do I do this?
Well, this is how you do it. God already set it up. In fact, he set this up from the garden. This isn't new news, and Moses was just the one that wrote it down. This was happening pre-Moses.
Like this video? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Watch the full episode of Shabbat Night Live this Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. See you then.